Well, hi guys, I'm Brad, and together with Troy, we're from Via Coaching, and today we're going to be sharing with you our top 10 tips for the UTA 100. Hope you enjoy. So, first top tip is pacing the road section. So UTA starts with the road section, and look, there's a lot of excitement as the day starts, and historically, you know, every start group, they go out pretty hot. I remember being there as a spectator a few years back and watched kind of a funny thing unfold where everybody's charging up the road, and somebody got really frustrated and was saying, like, kind of lost their temper, going, everybody needs to slow down, everybody slow down. It was kind of funny, but look, bottom line is, some people talk about how you need to kind of go out fast on the road section so you can get to the stairs, going down the stairs and not get held up too much. I just don't think that's true. I think pace yourself on the road section, stay patient on the road section. Look, to be honest, if you get held up on the stairs and in the landslide, for most people, it's probably actually going to help you, not hurt you. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. Just start it nice and patient. And don't worry about getting stuck behind a line or anything like that in that first kind of 10K section. You'll do just fine by staying patient all through there.
I think you should have a nutrition plan in place, the number of calories that you would like to try and aim for an hour, and even have it on a regular cycle where you might try and take small portions very regularly throughout the run. Main reason for that is, if you start to actually feel lightheaded and dizzy and you maybe are low in glucose, it can take a long time to bounce back from that. So the key thing is to make sure that you are eating regularly in small amounts. The other issue that might happen is you put a lot of pressure on your digestive system by eating way too much when you get really flat, hunger flat, and that can cause a lot of problems like nausea and just feeling quite unwell. So that's my nutrition tip. Make sure you eat regular, small amounts, calorie controlled, so that you can stay on top of your low blood sugar levels and you may not hit the wall.
Next top tip is kind of overall for the whole course up until 6-foot track is just stay really patient through all there. It is a beautiful morning and you'll see the sunrise and you see the fog. Narrow neck is my absolute favorite, but just stay patient through that. Make sure you start eating and drinking early. You kind of want to get to 6-foot track feeling okay. Now that's a long ways to go, but you need to stay real patient and controlled for that whole first section up till 6-foot track. Just let that be your mentality through all there, is just patient and controlled. Get that far, kind of feeling okay, and you'll be well and truly on your way.
Now there's going to be times where you have to walk no matter what at UTA, and that would most likely come around the stairs. But there are also a lot of small hills and pinches in between. Now what I want you to do is I want you to choose when it is that you're going to walk, rather than forcing yourself to run up these hills until you can't run anymore and then have to walk. So I want you to actually see the hill, see the gradient, and go, okay, from this next tree I'm going to walk until then, you know, 2 or 3 trees later, or the post up or the very top of the hill. But I want you to have control over when you walk, how fast you walk, and don't push yourself to a point where you have to walk. Incorporating walking early into the UTA 100 as well will reap benefits towards that latter stage as the back end of the race.
People ask often about the ladders, those that might be a little bit afraid of heights. And I just say, I think, so you've got two options when you get to the ladders. You can go around, or you can go straight down the ladders. The ladders, in my opinion, aren't too bad. Now they're really well built. They're totally safe, and you'll see that when you get there. My brother is, sorry if he's watching this, but my brother is terrified of heights, and he did UTA a few years ago, and he did fine on the ladders. Now, I mean, he's proper afraid of heights. So even if you are proper afraid of heights, I wouldn't be too worried about that. I think you'd be focused on the task at hand. It's very safe and feels enclosed the way the guys set it up. They do a great job setting it up. So I personally would, for most people, wouldn't be too worried about the ladder section. I just go for it. If you're really freaking out, you can go around. That's not too big of a deal.
Okay, so you may have run maybe a half marathon or even a marathon and not experienced this thing we call chafing. The UTA 100 is a long way. You could be out there from 12 to 16 to 24 hours, and chafing can become a real issue. So to avoid chafing, what do? We use something like Striderm, we could use Body Glide, we could use some kind of cream, and make sure that you're ready right from the start of the day. Don't wait until you start to feel chafe before you actually use these products. I would start with it already on, and then have it in your drop bags or have it at your checkpoints just in case. And also train with your pack. Sometimes you can get chafing around your back or shoulders, so make sure that you've trained with your pack and you know what you're going to likely experience on the day. So avoid the chafe.
Here's maybe my most important top tip is in relation to Nelly's Glen. So from 6 Foot Track up to Nelly's Glen, really up until the checkpoint in Katoomba, it's a hard section. And the reality is you will have gone 50 Ks. You will have run a really long ways, and you will have done some elevation, and you will have done some big climbs and some descents, and you'll get to that, and it will be hard, and it will be hard for everybody. My encouragement for anybody doing this, and my encouragement to anybody watching this, is ingrain this in your mind, is you will surprise yourself what you can bounce back from. So when you start feeling the wheels fall off, which for most people, feel that in some way on Nelly's Glen, it's just a hard climb, and you've gone a long ways, and it keeps going and going, and you go, oh gosh, I'm only halfway, and I feel like I can hardly move another step. Rest assured that just about everybody is feeling that way. Really, everybody's starting to suffer at that point in time. And stay controlled, keep moving, keep looking after yourself, keep eating and drinking, and I promise you, I can almost promise you, you will surprise yourself if you keep going, keep sticking with it and do the right things. You will surprise yourself what you can bounce back from. So as low as you might feel in that moment, ingrain this in your mind, as low as you might feel in that moment, keep going, keep doing the right things, and I can almost guarantee that you'll be feeling better later on in the day, later on in the course. So just stick with it and be patient up that section.
This one is all about having little things to push you or help keep you motivated. Now that could mean a can of Coke at a checkpoint with 20 Ks to go or 10 Ks to go. That could mean some music that you want to pop into your ears around that 56 Ks to get you through another 20 or 30. Whatever it is, think about what you would like to have as a bit of a treat that you would look forward to at the next checkpoints where you might have your drop bags. So for me, it's often that little bit of Coke at the end, it can be a bit of music, whatever it may be, and have something that's personal to you. It may bring a tear to your eye, but it also may help spur you on. So that's my little tip, have something to look forward to.
Another top tip is a lot of the stair sections, everyone knows UTA has a lot of stairs, a lot of the stairs have railings, and I'd encourage anybody to use the railings. So I'm not saying go out of your way or make a big deal about, you know, having to be on a railing and push tourists out of the way or anything like that, but if the railings are there, use them. So use them when you're going down. You can take a lot of your weight when you're going down and use them to pull yourself up. If you think about it, even if there's just one on one side, there's some that are double, you can grab both. But if you're pulling weight, if you're lifting a little bit of weight and using your arms, that'll save your legs in some capacity. Now, this is especially true for Ferber stairs at the finish when, look, you're just trying to get it up it any way you possibly can. And I think more often than not, people are, you know, it's kind of half hike, half crawl. But really is early on even, if there's a railing there, I'd encourage you to use it to pull your weight up, use it to kind of help you on the way down as well.
Okay, another UTA tip. This one is about lighting. The last could be anywhere from 10 to 30 kilometers, you'll be in the dark. So key thing is to make sure you've got a strong enough illumination to be able to keep you running at a fairly consistent pace despite the dark. Now, don't skimp on a good headlight, and don't just assume that the more expensive a headlight is, the better the lighting. I actually find sometimes that even a handheld torch is much better than a headlight, because you get to see shadows better along the actual path. By having it down low, having the torch down low, you'll be able to see a lot of those shadows and the outlines of rocks and trip hazards. And as you're getting closer to the end of an ultra event like that, it may be very difficult to focus on these things. So that's my little tip for you. Good quality headlight that's going to give you good light, and even the possibility of a handheld torch, just a small one, to help bring about those shadows and that sharpness to the path in front of you.
My last top tip is just to enjoy it. I already said that I reckon it is the best ultra course in all of Australia. The scenery is spectacular. The race organizers and team do a fantastic job. The volunteers are unbelievable. So I just take it all in. Don't get so caught up looking down, don't sprain an ankle or anything, but take a moment to look around, take it in and enjoy the day. It is a pretty cool adventure that we get to be a part of and that we get to do. So there's some top tips. Hope it helps you, and maybe see you around UTA coming up very soon.